Hello everybody, welcome to Super Sunday on That's Football, the biggest night of this World Cup so far. We're starting off with Brazil-Norway. We'll obviously be talking about England against Mexico. It's coming home. I'm excited. Me and Seb have been listening to World in Motion and, Badil and Skinner, Vindaloo. We're ready to go, and we're starting off in New York here for Brazil against Norway. I tell you what, this game could be incredible. I mean, this could be a massive game. Absolutely. So yeah, really ready for this one. Hope you are as well. Got me bet builder as well. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. We are sponsored by Ball Sports. Had a bad one last night for the France game, but it was a terrible game, wasn't it? I was, to be honest, I was honest with you last night. I thought yesterday was arguably the worst day of the World Cup so far, which has been fantastic. The officiating, the atmosphere, the games. I just don't see how the next 3 days don't deliver. I really don't. I mean, I think there's some cracking games. We've obviously got Norway, Brazil now, England, Mexico in the Azteca. I mean, people moaning about staying up all night. I could stay up all bloody week for that. The Azteca, Mexico, England in the Azteca in a World Cup. Yes, please. New York, Brazil, Norway. Yes, please. Tomorrow night, Portugal, Spain. Yes, please. Early hours of Tuesday morning, United States, Belgium. Yes, please. Argentina, Egypt, and then Switzerland, Colombia, and then France, Morocco on Thursday. Yes, please, in the quarterfinals. So yeah, it's all starting to move, isn't it? Now, if yesterday was constipation, today we are free, and yeah, very excited to see how this is all going to play out. I'm going to run a bit of a poll who goes through, because a lot of people are saying, come on, Norway. I do think Brazil win. And there is obviously the prospect of a Brazil-England quarterfinal on Saturday night in Miami. En Beito a Miami. There is the prospect of that. There is also the prospect of England-Norway or Brazil-Mexico or Mexico-Norway. But I do think England win, and I do think Brazil win. And it would be shades of 2002 OJ, because that was the quarterfinal in 2002, Brazil against England. Yeah. We'll go through the team news in a moment, but Carlo says, what's your thoughts on FIFA unsuspending the Balogun red card to Glaze Trump? Would you call it match fixing to please the sport? You know what? I'm surprised it's been overturned. I'm really pleased for the USA that it's been overturned. Really, really pleased, because I don't think it was a red card compared to Messi's. And I think that's what I would say straight away about that. I don't think it's. I don't think it was a red card. What I will say is, I don't think I expected it to get overturned. Sorry, let me just put this out. Just on the England game, apparently there's a 90% risk of lightning storms around kickoff. Under FIFA protocol, lightning within 6 miles, no kickoff until a 30-minute lightning-free window. France, Iraq was held up for nearly 2 hours. Percentages as a factor. We'll give you the update. I've seen conflicting. I've seen conflicting weather reports, to be fair. Right, let's talk about Ball Sports. They are sponsoring our. In fact, they're sponsoring both streams tonight, because we've got a bet builder for the England game as well. So bet builder is where you put a load of things together in one bet to boost your odds. My odds for this game are 21-1, because I've got a bet builder with our partners Ball Sports, and today they're adding a 50% bet boost on top. So when you're doing your bet builders with Ball Sports, you can get a 50% bet boost on top. I've got Brazil to win. I've got Haaland to score at any time. I've got over 2.5 goals. I've got both teams to score, and I've got Vinicius Jr. over 2.5 shots. I got odds of 14 to 1 on that, which I think is very generous because I think all of those things could happen, but it's been boosted to 21 to 1 with the 50% boost. Give it a go yourself. What do you think of mine? Let me know in the comments. Also, throughout the tournament with Ball Sports, we've got a little bit of World Cup teasers just for fun, no prizes. Question 1, despite being 5-time world champions, Brazil holds a unique, terrible, historic stat against Norway. What is it? I think some of you know this already. Keep hold of that for half time. And also during this World Cup, Ball Sports are reminding you to bet with your head, not with your heart. We all want England to win tonight, hopefully. But let me just get this right. Here. I'll come back to that because I just want to get the start right. There it is. Hopefully we all want England to win, but you've got to put aside loyalty and patriotism and not let an emotion muddy the waters. As always, it's 18 plus UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and via the QR code on screen. I don't know what the weather is in New York, but it doesn't look nice. Is it raining? Is that rain? It doesn't look its normal sunny self. Yeah, we've got fucking hell. We've got a thunderstorm risk here. Oh God, no. Thundery showers and a gentle breeze. Rain, 8 o'clock, potential thunder. Fucking hell. Oh God. You know, I said last night was the worst night of the World Cup. Yeah. Yeah. This could be one of those. It could be one of those. It's cloudy and humid. Jay says it should be okay. It was raining earlier. It's now clearing. Good. Good. It's a bit smoky because of the fireworks, Mark. Looking forward to Haaland versus Gabriel battle, says Ian O'Connell. Good news, officials, not Premier League officials, says Oil Cruiser. Thank you very much. Donald Trump paid FIFA to overturn the red, says AMC Deacon. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very happy that Balogun's going to be available because I thought it was a bit harsh. But as I said, I never thought it would get overturned. I thought it was harsh, but I didn't think it was harsh enough to be overturned. So I'm happy for the USA, but I never thought it would do. It's starting to clear up now. Look, that's better. That's better. Right, team news. Let's have a look at the team news. A little bit late on this, but better late than never. So Brazil lining up pretty much as they always have done in this tournament. Alisson in goal. Danilo and Santos as the fullbacks. Marquinhos and Gabriel as the centre-backs. Rayan, Bruno G, Casemiro and Martinelli. And then Vinicius Jr. and Cunha. I mean, Brazil have sort of evolved through the tournament into what I think is a very balanced team now. I think it works quite well. Little tweaks here and there. Norway, Nyland, Ryerson, Aja, Hegem, Wolf. Odegaard, Berg and Sorloth, Haaland and Nusa. Again, very consistent with that. That looked offside for Sorloth. Lays it off. It's got to be 1-0. It is! It's offside, shithouse. It's offside. He's blown the whistle. He's blown the whistle. It did look like Odegaard waited. It did look like he waited to play that pass. It could have gone earlier. It definitely could have gone earlier. He needed to play it there, and he took an extra touch. And even then, it might have been offside. It is miles offside. There's no debate on that. And it's a shame, because that would have been the start, wouldn't it? That would have been the start. And what a start it would have been. But I think Odegaard delayed the pass. Even if he'd played it at the right time, I think it might have been offside. Norway are winning this club. Yeah, I don't think Brazil... I've always said throughout... Well, I said it before the tournament. I said Brazil will be the biggest major team flop. Contextually, I could still be right about that. I just don't see them winning it. I really don't. But they're capable. They've got good players. Aaron Jones says, are people that scared of Balogun? It's sad. Hamza says, why do you think Brazil are not good enough? I think they lack the Brazilian flair that I always used to see. They don't have really good fullbacks anymore. Their midfield is a bit slow. You know, Ancelotti's a European coach, and I think he's getting the best out of them. But I think Brazil play like a European team. I don't see the thing that used to make Brazil exciting in a World Cup anymore. You know, you'd look forward to a World Cup and you'd be like, who's this? Who's that? And we just don't see that anymore with Brazil. I'll tell you what, Sorloth on the wing has started off quite well. I don't like Sorloth on the wing, but he does offer something very tactically unique in the sense that they can hit those long balls to him and he just holds it up. Yeah, Cafu, Jorginho, Leonardo, Roberto Carlos. They just don't have those. I think that's one of the biggest things about Brazil. They just don't have those fullbacks anymore. Sorloth wins a corner. It's a good start by Norway. Yanis says we've never lost to Brazil, 2 wins and 1 draw. And Chiri says if Bellingham gets a yellow today, the English FA can ask FIFA to suspend his 1-match suspension. FIFA set the precedent. Rules are meaningless. A lot of people are saying that, Chiri, to be fair. Thanks for the early super chats. Fab says red cards are meaningless now as well. You can appeal them. France looks more like a Brazil team than Brazil. Sean says, any tips for staying up past 1 a.m.? You know what? I was having this conversation with somebody today. Realistically, how many times have you been out to a wedding or a night out in a club and you stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning and you have a kebab and then you go home? I mean, are we overthinking it a little bit? It's a one-off, you know? I think if you think about it, you'll make yourself tired. You've got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. We'll be fine. My biggest concern is let's get the games done at the right times. I don't like the Norway have started off really well here. It's a good game. It's a good open game as well. I hope it stays like this. Yeah, I just don't want the games to get delayed for anything stupid, you know. Apparently there's not going to be thunderstorms in New York until potentially 10 or 11 tonight, and considering it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we should be absolutely fine. That's AccuWeather though. I don't know how reliable they are. Let's have a look at Mexico City. Mexico City weather by the hour. Oh god. They've got thunderstorms at 4 o'clock, thunderstorms at 5 o'clock, kick-off at 6, 7, and then thunderstorms at 8. I mean, we literally could be on, off like a fucking light switch. Brazil on their attack, first time. The thing that's impressed me about Norway is they are a good defensive unit. That's gone out. That's gone out from Binny. A lot of people have been impressed with Patrick Berg, the number 6 for Norway. I mean, he's no spring chicken. He's 28, plays for Bodø Glimt. But a lot of people have been very impressed with him. Good to see Ryerson back as well at right back for Norway. He had a bit of an injury scare. There was some concerns that he might be end of the tournament for him, but big player for them, Ryerson. Wolves done very well as well. I know he plays for Wolves, which is, you know, never a great thing to have on your CV, but I think he's looked good at left back. I think Azure and Hegem, the centre backs, are a little bit unorthodox, but Azure at Brentford's done well. We know about Sanderberg. We know about Odegaard. We know about Noosa. We know about Sorloth. We know about Haaland. And they do have decent players on the bench, like Shaderup and Oscar Bob, both early 20s players, both attacking players. I mean, look, I don't see how Norway could win the tournament, but I certainly think if things went their way, they could hit the semis. Neat says, how's your sleep schedule been? Last night was the best sleep I've had in ages. I was in bed by... Well, I watched the end of Rob Roy after the France game. And I think I went to sleep at just after 1. Penalty. That's a Stonewall penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty, that. It's a Stonewall penalty, that. I can't believe he's not going to give it. Oh, it's 100%. There's just no... It's like the one yesterday. Or did he get the ball? No, I think Cunha knocks the ball, doesn't he? Might touch the ball. Might touch the ball. I'd like to see that one again. I think he taps the ball. And I think there was a foul on the halfway line. The ball definitely moved. It looked Stonewall to me. 56% of you are saying Brazil win. I mean, it was a stupid tackle by Aja. I need to see it again. Was that a pen? Let's run a poll. I mean, Cunha does like to take a dive. We call him Mr. Tumble, but... It's going to VAR. It's going to VAR, so I think it's going to get given. I mean, I think there was a foul in the build-up for Norway as well, but they're not going to see. They're not going to see. Not going to show that. Well, that looks like a penalty. Well, they haven't even shown the other angle. Yeah, from that angle, it doesn't look like there's a touch. But there was another angle where I thought he did touch it. But penalty given. I think Norway could feel a little bit hard done by. There seemed to be a foul on the halfway line that they didn't want to take any notice of. Then again, those they have been, you know, not given a lot of. I'd like to see the other angle. I mean, that's the foul on the halfway line, isn't it? And it doesn't look like he gets the ball, to be fair. I think there may have been an angle where it looked like he touched the ball, but you can't see it on either of those two. But I think there is another angle. A lot of people saying there is another angle where he wins the ball. Bruno G to take it. And he's missed it! Oh, whoa, whoa! Super Sunday is alive and kicking here. A terrible penalty by Bruno Gomes. And a great save by Nyland. Well... He's not Cotton, he's Nyland, and it's a great save. I'm with you, Grand Prairie. I think there's a foul on Noosa in the build-up. Absolutely 100%. And I don't know why they don't go back and look at it, because in the Premier League they would. But maybe there is a little bit of help from the footballing gods there. Maybe there was a little bit of justice, because... there may or may not have been an angle where Aja took the ball. We haven't seen it again ourselves. Maybe we dreamt it. But there was definitely a foul on Noosa in the build-up. So another stuttered penalty as well. But it remains 0-0. Yeah, it's a crap penalty. It's a really shit penalty. That is the perfect height for a goalkeeper. It's not in the bottom corner. It's at the height a goalkeeper's going to dive. You put that in if you put that high, keeper won't save it. But you put it at that height, yeah. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got 15,000 already. Please do share the video. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. In fact, I should have said this before. We've got an early hit here very, very quickly. We're on 494,870. We're 130 subscribers away from 495. So please do click and subscribe. Let's see if we can hit 495 tonight on the road to 1.5 million. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. I tell you what, I've had a very, very lively first 15 minutes here. A penalty for Brazil saved. A goal for Norway scored, which was offside. A very open game of football. After the shit we watched last night, I'm enjoying it. And this is good by Rayan. Into the box, shoots wide, but it's a good game of football so far. Very good. Bruno there, first choice penalty taker. Why, says John United. And Lachlan says so many stutter step penalties saved. I don't get why players keep doing it. R9, greatest striker I've ever seen in my life. I don't know who the people with the scarves are. I reckon it's the King and Queen of Norway, but I don't know whether they have a royal family. Even with legit penalty, Tumbledorf is a better name, says Rick. And the other angle clearly shows a change of direction, says Maher. Yeah, well, I'd like to see that other angle, because I thought I saw that. But not on those two angles we saw. And the referee definitely didn't get it. The referee got one angle, and that was the Stonewall penalty angle. Yeah, but I would imagine with Cunha, Martinelli, Vinicius Jr., they'd all be penalty takers ahead of Bruno Guimaraes. Does he take penalties for Newcastle? I don't know. Hey Now says, I haven't had the same vibe about Brazil since the Ronaldo-Ronaldinho era. There's always a feeling about them now. This is not they're going to win. I just don't think Brazil feel like Brazil. I don't think Brazil have felt like Brazil for a long, long time. I can't remember the last World Cup where they did. 2002 for me. I think, to be fair, 2006, 2010, they still did have players that could do the Brazil thing. But as a team, 2002 was the last one that I felt was, 3v3 here. Norway, it could be a 3v4. Vinicius Jr. on his own. He's gone too wide. It's a crap pass by Martinelli. But it was a good cross by Vinicius Jr. This game's fantastic, end to end. England are meant to be playing at 1 a.m, Sean. We'll see. Very open game, though. Fascinating. Both teams playing their part. I think any breaks due to weather will help England. I'm rooting for you all. A lot of Americans are going for Mexico. Fuck that. Come on, England, says Stuart. Why? Why do the Americans want Mexico to win over England? I want USA to win, and I'm English. So back England, you shits. Fucking Mexico. Not having that. FIFA didn't overturn it, Mark. They just suspended the suspension for a year. Doesn't it set a dangerous precedence of postponing red card? I mean, look, to be honest with you, if I was Belgium, I wouldn't be happy. If I was, red tinted glasses, literally, if England were playing USA and Balogun was out and then they said he's not, I've got to be honest, I would moan. Kwanzaa expected to start at right back for England against Mexico. He's recovered from injury. Anthony Gordon also set to play instead of Rashford. Ornstein Bomber. Oh, I'm so excited. It's like Christmas Eve. I'm so excited. I think we're going to win as well. No, I'm not. I'm not like, yeah, we're going to win. I think we will win. I think it's going to be a battle, though. Do 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 do. It's coming home. Too early. How's France's squad so stacked, but Brazil's is so mid, says Christian. I think Brazilian football's got an identity crisis. And I'd be furious if I was Brazilian. I really do. Mexico fans have been blasting music and fireworks outside England's hotel all night. Why would you want to win that way? Terrible, Mr. Bridge, says Odie. Yeah, you know what I would do if I was Harry Kane? I'd watch a good film to get me relaxed, like Heat. And when it finishes and Moby comes on, I will put my earplugs in, right? I'll put my white noise on. I'll go out to the balcony and I'll go, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Well done. Enjoy the fact that you're not going to get any sleep, you thick twats. But I can't hear you. Night-night. I'll go to sleep. Jason, thanks for your beers. To be fair, I feel like modern football doesn't really allow for the flair that we used to see, says Soy. Yeah, but I disagree with you when it comes to Brazilian flair at fullback, because look at Hakimi, look at Mendes. They're the sort of fullbacks that Brazil used to have. And, you know, they play for the best team in the world. And it destroys teams. So I think you're right. I think we do coach flair out of football. But fullbacks, that's where this Brazilian side is massively lacking to me. They're like a traditional European back four. It's a back four. Whereas Brazil used to play two centre-backs and basically two wingers at fullbacks because they could get forward and defend. That's always been the Brazil thing. That's not acceptable. You know, if Hakimi and Mendes were Brazilian, you wouldn't batter an eyelid. You know? Marcelo, you know, he was quite a recent one as well. Dani Alves. You know, this is what I mean. Dani Alves and Marcelo weren't like 20 years ago, were they? They were 10. The death of the Brazilian fullback, basically, is one of the biggest problems. I just joined. Forgive me if you've already talked about it, but what's your thoughts on the USA red card being lifted? Well, I'm happy because, RJ, I'm happy for Balogun because I don't think it was a red. So I'm, you know, ultimately, I don't think it was a red, but they did give it. And I think once you've given it, I don't think it was bad enough to be... I'm surprised it got overturned. But I don't think it was a red, so... I'm not sure I'm making much sense there, but what I'm saying is I don't think he should have been sent off. But when he was sent off, I've seen loads of red cards where you know, how many dodgy red cards do we see in the Prem? And you go, should you appeal it? And if you do appeal it, then they'll give you an extra game ban anyway. Both to score, let's go. Wouldn't be mad if Norway wins. Thanks for doing the matches, says Jason. Imagine if it was a Norway-Mexico quarterfinal. England banters USMN team, but we have beef with Mexico, says Just Pasty. England tried to tax us, go Mexico. Tuesday in it, says Hamza. I'm in a dilemma, Mark. I'm Mexican-American. No, Fernando, you've got to support Mexico. I like Mexico. You know, Chicharito. You know, I like Mexico. I love the Azteca. Lovely play by Noosa. Lovely play by Noosa. Not really going anywhere, though. They've got to get the ball into Haaland. 1-2. 1-2. Oh, stupid Noosa. Stupid Noosa. 2v2 now. They got the numbers back, but Cunha defended it really well. Really well. Yeah, Cunha, that's not a penalty that time. Don't they have chips in all the balls so they know if there was a touch or not? I know they had that in the earlier stages. Yes, they do, Joe. It's a very good point. If there's a touch on that ball from the Norway player, they fucking got the technology, haven't they? Just ask Croatia. Heard about the Jed Spence injury, Mark, says Jay. No. Rick says, Brazil haven't been the same since the Germany thrashing. It's Le Mans, Mark, not Lemons. I know. I don't know. I've not called him Lemons for years. Well, 6 months. Justice was served, says Maher. Bruno, their first choice penalty taker. Why? Says John United. Thank you very much. Shout out to my fellow US Telemundo watchers, says Mark. And let us know where you're watching from, by the way. Let us know where you're watching from. Great start to this game. I think we're about to hit a hydration break. Norway started off very well. I think Brazil have settled a bit now. Has this ref forgot about the hydration break? Haaland's been very quiet, yeah. 72% of you said it was a penalty, by the way. So that was the majority choice. Picktock says Haaland or Vinny. I will run a poll for you, mate. It's quite a good one. Thanks for the super chat. I don't think we've ever done Vinicius Jr. against Haaland. So I've got a driving lesson at 9 AM tomorrow. Should I watch the England game tonight? Well, you're asking. Yes, if you're English, you should. Let's be fair. If Kane received the Balogun red, we'd hear about it for the next 50 years. Ronaldo had his red suspended anyway, says Nerds. Yeah, but I don't know whether he'd get it rescinded. That's the point. Nearly 15,000 watching. Thank you so much. Please do share the video and make sure you subscribe. We're only 90 subscribers away from 495,000 now. Rayan nearly gets it. Some sloppy passes by Norway. Here's Nusa. Does very well. Good tackle. Casemiro. Goes out for a throw-in. And that is the hydration break, so I can have a quick stretch here. I'm probably going to stand up for England-Norway. Yeah. See if you know this one. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home. It's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. Back it is, mate. Back it is. Get the passport for the World Cup. It's coming home. I'm getting too excited, I realised. Right. Heard about Ronaldo's retirement, Mark. Yes, he's confirmed it himself, hasn't he, Mukash? He has confirmed that this will be his last World Cup. Which I suppose is logical. We just think he's... there's the angle. Yeah, it doesn't look like he gets a touch there either. I don't know what angle we saw. Is that it, Mark? That's just a little teaser. The rest of the song's at 1. Chord changes everything. Bobby, I did see that Balogun can play against Belgium. Did you see the wink from Cunha? Yeah, but it doesn't matter now because they missed. Don't forget me bet builder. We're sponsored by Boyle Sports on the show. We're well into this first half now. I've also got a bet boost with bet builder, so I'm up to 21-1 with this if it comes in. I've got Brazil to win, Haaland to score at any time, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, Vinicius Jr. over 2.5 shots. Obviously, we're only 28 minutes in, so not all those things have happened yet, but we could have had both teams scoring. You know, offside for Norway, penalty miss from Brazil. Early days. I've also got another question for you. Which dynamic midfielder has already registered 4 assists for Brazil at this World Cup, putting him just 2 behind Pele's single tournament Brazilian record, which is incredible when you think who the player is. I'll tell you at half time. And also back yourself with Ball Sports, 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Missed penalty by Bruno G in this game so far. I feel like I'm getting a sore throat. No, it's not the time. Yeah, it's a weird one in England. I felt a bit jealous, actually, because my oldest daughter, who's at uni and is back now. Oh, Martinelli! Oh, how the hell did that not go in? He put the cross in. It deflected across the entire 6-yard box. And there was Brazilian players there, and I thought someone's going to get a touch on it, and they didn't. Keeper did well, but I'm surprised this didn't go in. Let's watch this again. Martinelli there, onside. Puts the cross in. Oh, again, Bruno Guimaraes is closest to it. It just deflects up, almost across the goal line. Yeah, Bruno G can't get to it. Yeah, so yeah, my daughter's off out to a pub to watch it. They've changed the licensing in the UK tonight because it's a Sunday. So there are pubs and clubs that can stay open till 4 or 5 in the morning. But I think a lot of the pubs around me aren't doing it. Jay-Z, New York. He did write it. He did write it. What are your thoughts? Hi, Mark. What are your thoughts on the Balogun decision? Apologies if you already covered it. I've only covered it about 50 times, Matteo. But my opinion is it wasn't a red card in the first place. Having said that, they gave a red card, and I'm quite surprised they overturned it, if that makes sense. I feel Brazil are starting to get on top here. Norway have been a bit wasteful with the ball. They need to keep the ball a bit better. They fell off a little bit, Norway. Maybe the hydration break will help them. Whoever mentioned earlier that US fans are rooting for Mexico are not informed. Mexico is the main rival of the USA. No respecting US supporter is pulling for Mexico, says Alpha. Should Messi win the Ballon d'Or if Argentina win the World Cup? I mean, he probably will. I don't think he should. I mean, you know, I do think European football and the Champions League is a thing. Who wins in a fight between Big Ange and Big Sam? Oh, definitely Big Ange now. I mean, Big Sam's got to be in his 70s. In their prime, probably Big Sam. Much love from Illinois Mark. Waiting for England, says Smith. Yeah, can't wait, mate. Happy Cunha at United would be annoying to face him, says Just Pasty. I mean, he is a diver, but he didn't dive that time. Either or, Rayan or Nusa. Well, we've got 70% who went for Haaland or Vinny J. I will run you that one as well, HM. I feel like a Brazil goal is incoming. Although Brazil have been behind before. Japan. Fabrizio confirming contact with Chelsea on Santos deal just recently, Mark, says Jay. Great. Fascinatingly great news. Chelsea fans must be knocking one out to that. We give you £40 million for Garnacho, and then a year later... No, you give us £40 million for Garnacho, and then a year later we'll give you 10 million plus the 40 million back for a bench player you don't even want. Well done, Haaland. See, again, the passing from Norway is just shit. They keep playing shit passes when they're on the attack, and then Brazil counter them. I just feel like there's a Brazil goal coming. Here's Rayan into Vinny. A good block, but he's still there. It's a yes from me. Your thoughts to Judge's house. Your thoughts... You're through to Judge's house, says Daniel. The real Slim Shaney says, I'm praying for a Mexico win from Ireland. Yeah, well, I'd expect that. Oil Cruiser says, advice, keep your day job. We will have the budget for Tchouameni or Wharton. Will we have the budget, says Max. Depends what the wages are. Nice ball into Noosa. Don't shoot from there. Odegaard, lay it off. Odegaard takes too many fucking touches, doesn't he? Way too many. Shoots into side netting. He's like bloody Saka. What's happened to Odegaard and Saka? Too many touches. He should have just laid that off straight away to Sorloth. Dylan says, I'd still love Norway to go out after the France game. Yeah, well, when they pick the reserves, yeah. Cunha at 10 would be great for United, but we have Bruno. Although he did well on the wing, I think he's more of a central player. Oh, absolutely. Ashish, absolutely. If England get knocked out, is Tuchel gone, says Tierek. Borderline, it depends how you go out. You know, if we went out on penalties, I don't think so. So, I mean, look, the trouble with that game is it's arguably the hardest game anybody's going to play. You know, it would be hard for Mexico. Sorry, it wouldn't be hard for Mexico if they were playing themselves. It'd be hard for Brazil to go to Mexico and play them in the Azteca. It's a hard game. You know, it's not like going out to Canada. Nerd says, as Azteca hype dies tonight, atmosphere no better than a big night at the San Siro, record based on beating regional minnow for years. I hope you're right, mate. Nerds ruined wrestling. Noosa with the cross. Haaland, oh, looked good but wasn't. I'm saying because the sale Chelsea will have budget, says Max. Oh no, Max, you're a Chelsea fan saying we'll have the budget for Tchouameni or Wharton. Yes. Yeah, we'd be funding you. We'd be funding your midfield. Ridiculous. Where do you watch this game? It's on ITV. Sorry, Max. I thought you were a United fan. FIFA accepts it's a red, but suspension is postponed, says Mod. Noosa has 67% over Rayan on 33%. There we go. Predictions for the other last 16 games, Mark, says Jay. Well, let's do them as they come. I do think Brazil score at some point. Why are Brazil playing so mid, says Raven? Because they are mid. And that's not an insult, they are. Norway on the attack with Sorloth. Every game, watch along on That's Football, yes. Tomorrow night we've got Portugal against Spain and 1 a.m. USA against Belgium with Balogun. Portugal, Spain's at 8 o'clock. Game does need a goal, I think. This is my humble opinion. I still think Brazil more likely to score. Not like that though. Casemiro with a long shot. We forget, though, don't we? Brazil are, you know, same as Japan. Brazil are, whether we think Brazil are playing well or not, Brazil are a huge, well, they've won the World Cup more than anybody. What the fuck is Odegaard doing? I mean, Arsenal fans, what the fuck has happened to Odegaard? Like, the guy, I can't explain how he takes too many touches. Right? I mean, if you accidentally fell into a lion's cage with Odegaard and you managed to get out just in time, he'd open the gate and go back in. Like, the guy's just, it's baffling. It's absolutely baffling to me how he has to take extra touches on everything. He's nearly just cost them a goal there. I'm a massive fan of Odegaard, but I have noticed it this season. What, you know, why take 2 touches when you can take 6? Max says, I watch for you because of you, don't even care about United. Yeah, sorry, Max. I did think because you said Tchouameni and Wharton. Mexico players have returned 1 million worth of Rolexes, says B3N. What do you think of Klopp to manage Germany? I mean, I think it's the right move for Klopp. It's less intense. Obviously, he's a brilliant coach, and at Liverpool he was tired. I don't think both Anderson and Rice work together. Playing someone like Mainu would be a different dynamic, says Ashish. Whilst on the subject of knocking one out, I do think it's a great tactic for staying awake. Would recommend, says Peter. England should not try to outplay Mexico at the Azteca. They are there to do a job, soak in the pressure and hit them on the counter. I completely agree with this, Chiri. I really do agree with that. I think, you know, Mexico have done really well. Here's Odegaard. Took a touch again when he should have had a fucking shot. Fucking hell, mate. There it is again. Why did you not hit it first time? Oh, I've got to take a touch again. I think he took 2. Watch this. Watch this. Hit it first time, yeah? Bang. No, 1, 2, 3. Fucking hell, he took 2 touches before shooting. He could have hit it first time. He literally could have hit that first time and he took 2 touches before he had a shot. This is great analysis, but it's frustrating. He takes too many touches. It's good play, though. Noosa into Haaland. Berg with the corner. Terrible corner. Brazil reminds me of United. How far we've fallen, says Fahad. I watch you. Thank you very much, Max. While on this, I've done that. Are you missing Mbermo, says Abra. Why would I miss Mbermo? Man United haven't played. I'd miss the whole team, surely. But yeah, I think Mexico have done quite well in this tournament with limited possession. So the worst thing we can do is let them play. Again, Norway with a shit pass out from the back. They just, I tell you what, they've got away with it, Norway, in this game. They really have got away with it. They've made so many self-inflicted mistakes, including the penalty. If they can go in at 0-0 and sharpen up, they'll have had a good half. Max says, you all need that level of player. It's mental. You want Santos. Well, what's your thoughts on Santos, Max, as a Chelsea fan? Because I don't watch him as much as you, but from what I've seen of him, I'd just say he's a mid player. I mean, he's not terrible, but he's, you know, certainly not a marquee signing, is he? And actually, I think it benefits Chelsea more than it benefits us because you get 50 million to spend on someone better. I just don't understand why you'd fund a rival. We'll give you 50 million for a player that you don't use, and then you can go and buy a player that we should buy. Is Seb staying up, says Chloe. He's in bed. He's gone to bed. His plan is to wake up and watch the game. I'm not convinced he will do it. We are not allowed to basically, I've promised him that we will wake him up, and then it's his choice if he gets up. But, you know, knowing what I'm like when people try and get me up to go on holiday, the amount of holidays I've nearly missed because I've gone, fuck that, and then thought, if I don't get up, I'm not going on holiday. Haaland as well there. Got to get him in the game more, Haaland. This definitely could be an extra timer, though. Both teams are... I mean, Brazil are very well organised defensively. I don't know you and I don't know you. Let me know in the chat. No idea. Evening, Mark. We should never forget about the sacrifices of World War II. That's why I struggle with the idea of England having a German manager, says Mr. Salvatore. Okay. He has a number of touches clause in his contract, says Marge. Yeah, I think Odegaard does get paid by the touch. Norway corner here. They haven't even told us how long we're getting added on here. I mean, hello? Hello, ITV Sport. We're on the 46th minute and we don't know how long's being added on. I mean, I don't know about you lot, but I do need to know. I've got a bit of OCD on this. 6 minutes. There we go. 6 minutes? Oh, yeah, VAR. They've started adding loads of time on, haven't they, as well? Why do you think they've changed that from the group stage? They've definitely changed that from the group stage. They are adding on a lot more time. Is that a better corner? It is. But it's going to drop to Brazil. Do you have a problem with having a German coach? No. No. Well, I totally understand. Like, you know, I'm older than a lot of you. So when I think of relatives that are no longer with us, and some of them that are, you know, they don't like Germans because of the World War II. Because they're old enough probably to remember it. But, you know, there was wars with Napoleon, wasn't there? Who is French. I mean, these events were obviously massive in world history and impacted a lot of people horrifically. But in 2026, I think there is other things to be more concerned about, to be honest with you, than a German manager managing an England side. Haaland. Oh! Great save, Alisson. Fucking Odegaard again. I'm telling you what, I feel like I've jinxed Odegaard. Haaland's done really well here. He's battled so well against the two centre-backs, Marquinhos and Gabriel. And the ball breaks for Odegaard. It's not easy. It's not an easy chance, but apart from the penalty for Brazil, it's probably the best chance of the game. And he ultimately has just gone for power. He maybe should have gone for some placement there, because I think the near post of Alisson was saying, take me, fill me in. Not the near post, the net. Lavia is way more talented. He's in a different league to Santos, says Max. I like Lavia at Chelsea. I wouldn't buy him, though, because of his injury records. Financial Times are reporting that Trump called FIFA over Balogun red, says Joe. Yeah, very, very brave of them to do that. FT, is that Financial Times or something else? Football Twitter, maybe. Brazil on the attack. Good cross. Oh, just over Martinelli's head. I think he was onside again. Yeah, well-timed run. Couldn't quite crane his neck. 5 minutes gone of the 6. Looks like it's going to be 0-0 at half time here. It's an interesting, but ooh, no, nothing given. Odegaard again, bouncing off Gabriel. I mean, it's been a relatively equal game. I think Norway have come back into it. They'll be certainly probably more encouraged. From this last few minutes, but Vinny J wants a free kick, doesn't get one. We'll have a weather report at half time. In fact, if anybody knows the best place to get accurate weather, then definitely do let us know. But it is half time. Let's have a look at the stats just very quickly on this. I'll be quite intrigued. Also got some news coming in for you as well. I've just been sent, which I haven't read myself yet, but let me just have a quick look at these stats. Produce. Yeah, if you want to stay up for 1 o'clock, actually, the Goldbridge guide, I've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and many of you have been doing it as well. So I can give you the Goldbridge guide on how to be as bright as a button at 1 a.m. I'll also give you a weather watch, because that might not be a 1 a.m. kickoff. 35%, No, Brazil can't be operating on 35%. That's mad. Brazil, 35% possession. Norway, 65. 7 shots. They've had more shots. Same shots on target. Norway have had more corners. Norway have played more passes. 92% accuracy. Bloody hell. I mean, realistically, Norway are shading it. Proper bowl, that is. I mean, that's proper surprising. That is. Okay, latest weather update for the England game, and this is coming in from Matt Law in the Telegraph. He says the storm has arrived in Mexico. Very loud thunder, very heavy rain. Let's hope it comes early and will blow through in plenty of time for kickoff. I mean, that is quite good news, because we are still 3 hours away from kickoff. So if it's thunder and heavy rain now, what normally follows thunder is more thunder. No, what normally follows thunder is clear skies. I don't know the benefits of I don't know the weather meteorologist shit, but that might be quite a good thing, to be fair. Yeah. But to be honest, Matt Law is bang out of order. Leaking the weather 3 hours before kickoff. I mean, you know what? He deserves to be getting a bit of shit for that. You know, we're trying to win a game, and Matt Law is leaking the weather 3 hours before kickoff. I mean, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, Mexico know about it now. Great. Mark, shouldn't a player who has won the penalty actually have the right to first refusal? Opinion on whether Pep should manage international sides, says Sahaj. I've never heard such shit in all my life. No, Pep managing Spain would be great. I don't think the first player should get the first refusal on whether they should take the penalty. What if Delo ran into the penalty box, got tripped up, and then he says, I'm taking it? Max says, read my Santos analysis, you skipped it. I didn't fucking skip it, Max. I'm fed up of this. I've been doing this for 3 weeks. I've been operating on no sleep, and I don't miss super chats. I don't skip them. I just don't read them for a while. I go back and then I batch them I don't go, oh, there's a super chat. Let me stop talking about something. For fuck's sake, Max, just have a bit of bloody patience. Can we have a bit of patience, please? Ah. The reason United chose Carrick is so they can control the transfers and the narrative. Any other world-class manager would have demands right, says Ashish. Yeah, sorry, Ashish. I don't know what channel you thought you walked into, but this is That's Football, half-time of a World Cup game between Brazil and Norway, not the fucking United stand. No, I'm joking. I was actually just doing a bit of acting there. Benk says, thanks for your very generous super chat, Benk Fitness. He says, we like to draw huge differences between football and American sports, but it seems it's just as simple now. Elite manager helped tremendously, but it's truly just who spends the most. City became a world power and United fell off mostly because of spending. And how you spend it. Yeah. You have to spend to be successful. Yeah, Odegaard does get paid by the touch due to his contract, says Peter. A bit like Bonnie Blue. That would have been a great analogy, wouldn't it? You know. I had a really good one. I've got an even better one now. Odegaard touches the ball more than Bonnie Blue. There you go. I sort of took what someone else had said there. I don't know who that is actually, by the way. I think some people mentioned that it might be an adult video star, so I just used the name there. FT reporting, thank you. Still want to buy Bruno G after today? Yes, Tanush, I do. Lachlan says, as a Chelsea fan, I think Santos is okay, but nothing special. His lack of physicality does hurt him at times in the Prem. He's probably too small. Yeah, I think his positional sense isn't great, but he's quite good on the ball. That was NBA's final MVP, Jalen Brunson. Thank you very much, Financial Bro. Max says, in relation to Santos, he is a functional player that is reliable. He kicks the ball there. He gets a bit of the ball there. Watch. He gets the ball. Fucking hell. That penalty is a joke. That Brazil penalty is... I'm going to have to tweet that. The Norway defender legitimately gets a touch on the ball. I mean, look, you can see the ball moves a little bit, but they've also got the fucking technology. Just ask Croatia. That's bang out of order, that. That is bang out of order. That wasn't a penalty. But look, justice was served. Max says, in relation to Andre Santos, he's a functional player that's reliable and good for rotation. He does everything well, but nothing great. He's not a game changer. Nobody's crying about him leaving. Oh, great. Sounds great. Vice says, start, bench, sell, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, The Wire. I haven't watched The Wire. I haven't watched all of The Sopranos, so I'd have to start Breaking Bad, bench Sopranos, and and sell The Wire. Although The Wire is meant to be good. I'd probably revisit The Wire because I know Idris Elba now. We've met, so I feel like I probably should watch that and Cats. Mr. Salvatore says, evening, Mark. We should never forget. I've done that one. Thank you. I probably won't do that one again. Bonnie Blue says, Ashish, we bought Tagarte, PSG got Neves. If we get Santos from Chelsea, they'll get Wharton. Signing Santos is a step down as well, says ML. Yeah, you shouldn't fund... I nearly said terrorists. You shouldn't fund Chelsea, who are not in any way, shape or form terrorists. Got 473 million of Red Bull ready to drink at 1 a.m. So Silver Moment. Good reminder. I'll come back to that. Vishu says you missed my super chat. Mark, you missed this super chat, says TK. Thoughts on the refereeing and refs letting the play go on? Do you think it's gone too far? France yesterday, there were several clear fouls at critical times. I think the Premier League will follow suit, censoring the ball. There's Ronaldinho, Cafu, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, some old guy. Would you have got all of those, everybody? Numpty, I like the fact that we're letting the game flow. But, again, there was a foul on Norway before that penalty. Double the amount of passes for Norway and better passing precision. Really impressive, says Marlowe. Marge says you missed my super chat 43 days ago. Nike as well. I'm from Malaysia. What do you think about Asia's teams, says Boris? I think Japan are good. I think South Korea and Japan underachieved. Japan probably underachieved because they got Brazil very early. South Korea definitely underachieved. Those two teams, when you look at the success of African nations getting into the knockout stages, I think Japan and South Korea are more than capable. You take Morocco, Japan would give them a good game. You know, you take Egypt, South Korea would give them a good game. So they underachieved. Yeah. Thoughts on Klopp being Germany's new manager, says H. So. Done that. Max. Okay. Okay. Tips for staying up if you need them. Really easy. I've been doing this for a few weeks now. You've got a couple of options. You can either have an hour and a half max as a sleep, because that's a sleep cycle. So if this game doesn't go to extra time, you could hop into bed at 10 past 11, have an hour and a half, set your alarm, get up. You'll feel good for it. Anything more than that, you're going to feel like shit. Anything less than that, you're going to feel like shit. Better, I think, is do not have a sleep after this game. Maybe rewatch the United stand if you didn't see it, or if you did see it, for an hour. That'll take you to midnight. And then, you know, we're going to be live at about midnight anyway, ahead of a 1 o'clock kickoff. What you want to do is get yourself a coffee at about midnight. Half an hour before kickoff, give yourself a coffee. It will start kicking in. And then the game will keep you buzzing anyway. So basically, you need a coffee around midnight. You could also do a bit of a workout because that will get your blood flowing. Yeah, but I'm not a massive fan of going to bed for 3 or 4 hours and then waking up. I don't know that. I used to do that for the US tour, and it would make me feel like shit. Also, I think when you wake up, you're groggy, your voice, your reactions. I'd rather not go to sleep and get gradually tired. Red card suspended, Balogun available, USA a cheat, says Aman. Are you having a bottle of red if England reach the final, says Cheesy. I don't know whether I'll have red. I might have something. I might have something tonight. I haven't decided yet. Aman says, red card, done that one. Crazy the England lineup's been leaked already, says Magic Mizzen. Mate, the England lineup used to get leaked the day before by bloody Southgate's son to Thogden. That's a well-known bloody rumour. I've got the bloody WhatsApp messages of people telling me it who were credible. So, you know, I'm not that worried about the team being linked, you know, that early. Kev's in the chat. Hello, Kev. Hope you're doing well. He'll be on the red wine. Not saying he's an alcoholic, but he'll be having a glass of red. I'd be stunned if he hasn't got a glass of red wine in his hand. No Snicko there, and Snicko in the Portugal game. Officiating seems to have gotten worse in the knockout, says NF Sam. If Pep joined Italy and Klopp joined Germany, what coach do you think would be more successful, says Tyler? Well, Italy haven't got a very good squad, so I'd probably say Klopp. Yeah. What do you think? My plan is a Deserano and Coca-Cola from Sean. Lynn, I'm not driving a mini metro, says Humble Lamb. Lovely stuff. Best thing to stay up is get coffee after this game, play some PS5 before we face Mexico. A good, again, Bradley Royal, another good time filler. You've got a short period of time. If this goes to, you know what, I'm not normally a big fan of extra time, but this going to extra time actually helps because that'll knock this game to midnight and then we kick off at 1, hopefully. What's your thoughts on the game, says Incred. I think it's been a good game without a goal. Norway are very much in it. And Brazil, probably been a bit disappointing. My handsome King Kev, I love him so much, says Maz Rawawi. If England get to the final, I'll buy Mark some moonshine, says Silver Moment. Can you shout out my girlfriend, Annalie? She hates you, by the way. So such try hard. Mate, you should get rid of her, really. I'll tell you what, if she doesn't like me, that's a good indicator to dump her and get rid of her. I hear this all the time. Just get rid. It's obvious she has terrible taste, and probably is a City fan as well, or doesn't, or even worse, doesn't like football. In which case, get out. Do not pass go. Get your stuff and get out. You're out. I don't care whether you pay the mortgage. Get out. You're fired. We got to go to work at 6:30. England or the sack, says Eru. Yeah, you know what? I have massive sympathy for this. This is crap if you're at school, at work, or anything like that tomorrow. Who's this AI prat? Oh, shut up. Why are we applauding the Terminator? What's happening to the world? This bloody AI robot has just given the ball to the referee and everyone's going, ooh, you won't be doing it in 20 years when he's bloody blowing your city up like bloody Terminator. You won't be bloody applauding them then. You'll be on your knees begging, please show mercy. I clapped you at the World Cup. Fuck off. We are literally clapping our own downfall here. I can't believe people think AI robots are a good thing. What are your thoughts on Anthony Taylor being the referee for the Portugal-Spain game? I apologise to the world. Double substitution here. This Norway manager's moving mad. He's took Nusser off, hasn't he? He's took Nusser off. He's done it again. At half-time. What is this manager on? This better work. Sorloth and Nusser off at half-time. Doesn't make any sense, that. You've got more possession. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I really don't. I'll give you an update on my Ball Sports Bet Builder in a minute. I'm just going to start the game. Look, if it works, it works. I thought that was Neymar then. Can't be, he's on the bench. There we go. Yeah, so we're sponsored by Ball Sports on the stream tonight and on the England game as well. I have a couple of answers to our questions to give you, but my bet builder, which you can put one on yourself with Ball Sports, it got boosted. These odds are 21-1. Brazil to win, Erling Haaland to score any time, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, Vinicius Jr. over 2.5 shots. If all those things come in, my bet comes off at 21-1. At the moment, not looking great, but things can turn around quite quickly. I also asked you 2 questions. Despite being 5-time world champions, Brazil holds a uniquely terrible historic stat against Norway. What is it? One, well, they've never beaten Norway, is the only national team in world football to have played Brazil multiple times, 4 games, and remained undefeated, 2 wins and 2 draws. So Norway have never been defeated by the mighty Brazil. Which dynamic midfielder has already registered 4 assists for Brazil and is only 2 behind Pele's single tournament record? It's Bruno G. 2 more assists for Bruno G and he equals Pele's record. 3 and he breaks it. Anyway, 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly and be gamble aware. Thank you so much to Boyle Sports for sponsoring the stream. We've got 15,000 people watching. Have we hit 495,000 subscribers? No, we are 30 away. We are only 30 subscribers away from 495,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can hit 495 before the England game. Thank you everybody who's tuning in. Do you think you'll have many people watching the England game? Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't go over 20k, considering Netherlands, Portugal at 3 o'clock in the morning had 14,000. So I'd be very surprised if we don't have a lot of people watching later. But I understand it's a challenge. I understand it's a challenge to stay up this late at 1 a.m. But this World Cup has done irreversible damage to FIFA's reputation and credibility. All the issues with staff and players entering the US and now the Balogun red card overturned, says Mariam. It's a very topical, it's creating a lot of debate. Norway manager is now resting players for the quarterfinals against England, says Khalil. I think those subs are very early. That's my only concern. Like, I understand if they've got injuries, but I can't imagine they're both carrying injuries. And 45 minutes is very early for a game that could go to extra time. So for me, it just seems a little bit strange to take both wingers off that early. Only way to save Man United is with an AI manager, says Brian. No, an AI director of football would be brilliant. It could really follow the data then. Amelie is so angry, but I love you, by the way, says Sook. Pete says, girlfriend's first watch was Brighton-Chelsea in April. It was brutal. Your commentary got me through it while she asked if my team scored. She loves you now. Good stuff. That's a keeper, Pete. Any advice for 18-month daughter who supports Man United? Says it's just Sebastian. I mean, I don't think she'd listen at 18 months. I mean, it's a long time since I've had... since my kids were 18 months old, but just keep buying them the kits. Berg, oh my God, that was shit. I bet he wish he didn't do that. Got into a position to take a long shot and hit the moon. Humble Lad says, schools near me don't start until 11 tomorrow. But this is the problem, right? You know, I've heard of people who have basically said to their staff, you can, if you don't have to come in till lunchtime, I'll still pay you. And I've heard of schools that aren't opening till 11. And then I've heard loads of people where the schools are opening up as normal, and you've got to be in your normal job at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And I'm like, I just don't agree with that. Although United Stand staff are in at 8. I haven't said they can come in late. Shit. I just realised I should have done that. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man. I'm going to do it now. Look, at least I own it. I forgot. Don't put it on TikTok. That's fucking bang out of order. I'll get loads of hate for that now. Look, at least I realised I was taking the piss out of all these people that won't let their staff come in late, and realised I'm that person. But at least I rectified it. You know? I blame Gary, actually. You know, he's notable by his absence. I haven't had a WhatsApp from Gary saying, hey, have you thought about letting the staff come in late? No, because he'll be getting up at 4 a.m. Harry says, if you had to put your life on a team to win, who would it be this year? Please get this right because I'm going to bet big on the team you choose. Yeah, I'm not answering that. I will not take any responsibility for that, Harry. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm going to read this out just because it's from a complete moron and the joke is terrible. Hi, Mark. I think AI robots are your mum. Bad News Western. I think you're stuck in the 90s in a primary school playground. I think that's absolutely terrible. My AI girlfriend broke up with me, says Elm. 90-minute method or coffee method tonight, Mark, says Boomed. I'm not having the 90-minute sleep tonight. I'm going to have the coffee. I actually had a 20-minute power nap after the F1, which was good. I never believed in the 20-minute power nap, but it does work. So apparently, you should never go for a sleep in the day for longer than 20 minutes. And I did it twice today, and they do work. And Micha would be a good midfield signing for United, says Damien. Is it true about Edison deal breaking down? No, Love Hate Games, it's not. And media would be, if the Mexican president pushed for an unjust red to be suspended, the media would be praising the passion of the Mexican fans. Unfair to criticise US, says Nerds Ruined Wrestling. Going to the shops after this to get energy drinks, says Eric. Yeah, I haven't got any energy drinks. I've only got Huel. And drinking that's just going to make me feel full. Anyway, 7 minutes gone. Much the same as the first half here. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. We've got nearly 17,000 people watching. Please do subscribe because I think we're very close to 495,000 on the road to 1.5 million. Get involved with That's Football. Of course, we are live for the England game. I didn't give you a weather update because I don't really know what the best weather outlet is for Mexico. I certainly don't think... What's the best global weather app? Vinicius Jr. into the box. He's done well here. Corner. Oh, he's giving a goal kick. He's giving a goal kick. No, he's giving a corner. Asher can't believe it. Don't worry about it, mate. It'll get overruled. If it's not a corner, it won't be given. That's what VAR's for. Take a chill pill. I think it was a corner. Nah, the ball had gone out before that. So it is a corner. Cunha's on it. You do feel like, I've been saying all along, I feel like Brazil will score first. Oh, went right through again. Apparently we're getting thunder in Mexico City right now. Let's go live to Ricky, who's in Mexico with an umbrella. No. Who would I like to be live in a thunderstorm from Mexico right now with an umbrella? Well, nobody, because that would just be dangerous, which is why I said it. It's a health hazard. Apparently, it is raining heavily and thunderstorms in Mexico City right now, and we'll do at 8 o'clock. Ah, fuck it. This game's going to get fucked up. It is. I mean, apparently there's thunderstorms now. There's thunderstorms in an hour. There's thunderstorms at kickoff. And there's heavy rain an hour after kickoff. Oh, fucking hell. This game is scheduled for 6 p.m. Mexico time. It might not kick off till 9 p.m. Mexico time, which is 4 a.m. for us. I mean, we could be waiting hours. They should have played it at 7. I know why. I know the FA of England and Mexico didn't want it to get put earlier, but I think FIFA should have been a little bit firmer on it, saying, mate, the weather is fucking shit. Is that Woody Harrelson? And Chris Rock? Yep. You see, I am good at this. He's on the broccoli. Woody Harrelson. Eating healthy. Watched a good film with him, actually, recently. An old classic. The bowling one. Kingpin. Mark, thoughts on Klopp taking over Germany? I think it's a good move for him, RJ. Belgium FA have released a statement regarding Balogun. Can we find that, Mariam? Can someone get me the statement from Belgium? I'll read it out. Can you say happy birthday to Brian Dale? And that's a super chat from Brian Dale. You could have just said, can you say happy birthday to me? Happy birthday, Brian. Hope you're having a great day. What brand of cans have you got in store for the England game, says Nico. I'm not planning on... I haven't decided whether I'm drinking yet. If I knew it was kicking off at 1 a.m. and it wasn't going to get interrupted, I think that's a very different story to this game might not finish till 7 a.m. So... Substitution here. Endrick is coming on. Neymar is on the bench for Brazil, but I think it's more of a gimmick, isn't it? He clearly isn't ready. Cunha off. I'm disappointed with these subs. Noosa off. Now Cunha off. A lot of people like Endrick, though. Believe he's a star in the making. What's your thoughts on the Mexico fans making noise outside the England Players Hotel, says Jack. I mean, if they can't find something to block out noise in their bedroom, you've got a problem. Daniel says, what's USA fan, how much chance do you think we've got against Belgium? I'd say 60% USA, 40% Belgium. Ever streams with no pants on, says Enrique. I'm not bloody telling you. Why should you get free satisfaction? There we go. What a ball by Vinicius Jr. Endrick. Oh, he's missed. What a miss. It's his. To be honest, I thought he did well to get the shot off because his touch was shit. Lovely ball by Vinny, but look at that touch. That second touch was shit. He's got no right foot either. Why has he got no right foot? This is what I mean, people. There's a lack of quality strikers in football. Go out and learn the game and definitely be two-footed. The increased chance of him miscontrolling that is all because he tries to do it on his left foot. If he had a right foot there, he could have controlled it and hit it. What do you think of Spurs spending this summer, says Codes? Very good. Trav, very ambitious. Yeah. Trav says, what do you think that... Sorry, Mark, do you think there will be a day where on-field referees are not needed? All decisions done through VAR and AI? Well, I don't know about all. Here's Norway. They've got a good chance here into Bob. Overplayed that. These winger substitutions of Norway don't make any bloody sense to me. I'm taking my hamster for guitar lessons tomorrow at 5 AM. Should I stay up, says Michael back. Game is starting to get stretched. Endrick wins a corner. Max Waller says, from Norwegian news, we're replacing both wingers. We feel it's a battle for the two coming in. They're also quicker at moving defensively, Norway assistant coach said. So he's gone a little bit more defensive, maybe. Josh says, why is Neymar even there? He's been poor for years. Cunha would have scored that, says Daryl. Fair point, actually. I think with Neymar, I just don't see why they did it. I mean, João Pedro would have been fit, available, and better off the bench. So, I mean, it must just be PR. Good shot there, straight at the keeper. Brazil starting to get a bit closer here. Here's shaded up. Lovely ball. Oh. Haaland can't get it. They were on the break there as well. Nerds Ruined Wrestling says, Messi no red, Ronaldo red suspended, but everyone freaking out over Balogun. I'm sorry, but seems like cheap anti-USA rhetoric. Matthew says, the lightning and thunder has already started in Mexico. Well, hopefully it will change. Emper says, I like your hairline. Marge says, I'm going to prison at 4 AM. Should I stay up? Vinny's starting to get more and more into the game. There it is. Oh, it's a great save by the keeper. Bruno G misses again. Nyland makes the save. That was a great save. That was a great save. I mean, Brazil have had the chances here. That would have been offside. It would have been offside. He's offside there. Yeah, it wouldn't have counted anyway. Bruno G was onside, but I think it was Rayan who... Oh, great save. Great save. Great save, that. Norway defence is a bit... The keeper's had a great game for them. Daniel says, Manan's in Mexico. Said she's just been hit by lightning. Oliver's Army says Goldbridge doesn't understand the offside rule. Mate, can somebody help Oliver's Army out for being a thick idiot? Who does the keeper play for? New York. He doesn't play for New York. He plays for Sevilla. 35. 74 caps. I think Ryerson's come off. Bloody hell, Norway are making very adventurous subs, I suppose. What the fuck are you going backwards for there? There was a pass forward, you absolute cretin. Is that Sanderberg by any chance? It reminds me of Matic. But not good Matic. He really does remind me of Matic. This is a World Cup of corruption, says Aram. Somalian ref, the way Iran were treated throughout, and now this with Balogun, should never be allowed to host again. Oh, come on, mate. I've loved this World Cup. I'm just not having that. Learn Thunderstruck AC/DC to keep yourself awake and the neighbours up. Just Mish. Oh! Cross came in. Allison didn't get hold of it. It went across the 6-yard box, but it goes for a corner. I'm just trying to find this Belgium statement. Storm protocols are already in place at the Azteca, by the way, due to the thunder. Here's shader up. Bob. That Norway defender definitely got the ball. Another good chance for Norway. Are we going to get a winner in this last 24 minutes? We're heading towards another hydration break. They worked it really, really well here, Rob. Oh, he's just not really there on the back post. I don't know whether this is true. I I don't know, it's hydration break. I don't know if this is true. This is from an X account, Nick Metcalf. Don't know whether it's true. ITV panel on Balogun having his ban suspended. Roy Keane, it seems unfair because it is unfair. It's a pals act. Neville, it absolutely stinks, but are we surprised? And Ian Wright says some things that have happened at this World Cup are shameful. I tell you what, I think that penalty was shameful. To be honest, I can't believe that VAR just showed him one angle and then the penalty was given. This is the statement from Belgium about the Balogun red card, which is actually generating a lot more debate than I actually thought. The Royal Belgian Football Association is astonished by FIFA's decision to declare suspended United States player Balogun eligible. The provision states that FIFA Disciplinary Committee may decide to suspend the enforcement of a previously imposed disciplinary sanction. Furthermore, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so they're astonished, basically. The Belgian FA are astonished. As I said, look, I think it's more nuanced than people are allowing. You know, Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Ian Wright saying it's out of order, this, that, and the other. There's no nuance in any of that. Like, for me, I think that it was never a red card in the first place because Messi didn't get a red card. So we already have evidence that, you know, Messi didn't get a red card, Balogun did. So that could be the case for saying it should be suspended. You know, absolutely. Messi's tackle was worse, didn't get a red card. Balogun did. Where's the consistency? Okay, let's be consistent and rescind it. However, once you've given a red card and you look at why they gave it, I don't think it's a clear and obvious mistake. So I can sort of see if England were playing USA, I'd be a little bit pissed off. So I think this is what happens when you get the decision wrong on the pitch. I personally don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's a debate. I don't think it's cut and dry, really. Every World Cup has controversies. I'm getting tired of people who fixate on drama. That said, this is a brilliant World Cup. Should be remembered that way, says Tiger Valley. Here, sir. You were doing the what you got line from a film the other day. What was that film? What do you got? What do you got? Heat. What do you got, Joe? Yeah, it's when he talks to the informant. I think this could be heading to extra time. Yeah. I mean, we've had chances, but I think we could be heading toward extra time. Let me just get you up to date on the substitutions that we've had so far, because there has been plentiful. So Neymar is on for Martinelli. Santos is on for Rayan, and Endrick came on for Cunha. Does that weaken or strengthen Brazil? We shall have to wait and see. Danilo Santos, who came on, he plays for Botafogo, by the way. He's come on for Rayan. Obviously, Neymar, we know, he's come on for Martinelli. And then from Norway's point of view, Arsnes has come on for Ryerson. And Odegaard, what is he doing? I mean, too many touches again. Shader up came on for Noosa, and Sorloth came on for Bob at half time. Aram says, I think Trump is affecting football decisions. FIFA rules say you can't overturn a red during the World Cup, though, says Willie. Are you looking forward to Heat 2, says Brian? I am. Yeah, well, you know, FIFA tried to change the kickoff time for the England game and it got put back. I wouldn't be surprised if Balogun ends up suspended again, you know. Ricky says, would you play the World Cup mode on FIFA with England to see if you can bring it home when the World Cup is over? No. I don't think there's a lot of interest in it when the World Cup's over, Ricky. The red card saga, says Maher, is corruption at its best. I can see this going to penalty, says Becky. Ethan Hawke and DiCaprio and Toby Maguire. There we go. DiCaprio's like he's... I don't know why these celebrities try and make themselves look, you know, disguised, because I knew that was DiCaprio straight away. Have you watched True Detective Season 1, says Mariam? I think so. Neymar gets it wide to Vinny. I'll tell you what, a late goal for either of these teams probably ends it. It's good play by Brazil. If he cuts it back, why did he not cut that back to Neymar? It's right on the edge of the box. Haaland. Oh, they've got this. Now it's Bob. Use the overlap. No, use Odegaard. Now Odegaard. Into Haaland, into shader up. Good save by Alisson. This is what I mean. Games now could go end to end. Check Odegaard's bank account, says Marco. Do you think the matches go so much quicker, says yes. I think the flow of the game, I mean, we've had the Bundesliga on a Friday night, and a lot of the time you don't know a lot of those teams, but the game flows so quick because the referees make them flow quick. They let the game flow. If it was any other country, no one would care about Balogun, says Pete. Have you watched the series from Really Good Bud? Never heard of it, Oddie. The match was suspended because the ref misused VAR and there was no call on the field to begin with, says Gator. 15 minutes to go here. And is it going to go for a corner? No, it's going to stay in. Edison is in the Brazil squad, but I just don't think he's ever going to get used. Definitely looks like there's going to be a delay to this England game. If the weather forecast I'm looking at, and I don't know what the best weather to look at is. I'm on the weather channel and it says thunder at the moment and all the way through. Rain and thunderstorms for at least 60 minutes. Ederson's coming on. Ederson's coming on. It's happening. It's happening. Ederson's coming on. Ederson's coming on. Ederson's coming on. It's happening. Ederson's coming on. Ederson's coming on. It's happening. If this goes to extra time, we might get to see half an hour of Ederson. He's coming on for Bruno. He's going to play in the midfield. He's coming on for Bruno Guimaraes. He's not even going to play as a right back. Oh, right. What number does he wear? Number 23. Okay. One and only says, if this goes to penalties, Gabriel skies it. No, he's wearing number 2. Ederson. Is he going to play as a number 2? Yeah, he's playing in the midfield. Oh, God, this is really exciting. So this is the player Man United have bought. Don't you fucking let us down now. You are getting clipped on everything you do. Good play by Shader up. Haaland! Goal, Norway! Oh, what a goal! What a moment! Erling Haaland, 79 minutes. Brilliant cross by Shader up. And Haaland has put Norway ahead 1-0 against Brazil. What a moment in this World Cup. We felt there may be a major upset in this World Cup. I came into this World Cup saying I don't think Brazil are all that. And Norway lead 1-0 here with 10 minutes to go. What a goal in this World Cup. A fantastic header. Brilliant cross by Shader up. Goal. And it's a big goal. A very, very big goal. If they've got to lock in now. And for Brazil, this is not the quarterfinals. This is not the quarterfinals. This is the round of 16. Look at Shader up. What a cross. And oh, Gabriel gets absolutely owned here. Look. He gets absolutely second bested. Bullied, they're saying in the chat. Great header by Haaland as well. Study that. I tell you what, study that if you're a striker as well. That's how you head a ball. Down, hard and low. Massive moment. Huge moment. There's Alf-Inge Haaland. Don't know what he was doing. You know, I don't like Haaland when he plays for Man City, but I do like him when he plays for Norway. I don't know whether that makes sense, but he's the sort of guy you wish he played for you. Have Brazil got the quality on the pitch? No Bruno G, no Cunha, no Rayan. Neymar, Ederson, Danilo. Are these players good enough for Brazil? I said this coming into this tournament. I was asked. I literally said it on my predictions for this World Cup. I said, biggest high-profile flop, Brazil. They're not all that. Reputationally, the greatest World Cup side ever. Factually, they're not all that. Even in the qualifiers, they were level on points with Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia. But they do have attackers to make it happen. Missed a penalty as well. They've got a corner here. What a moment. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. We're 10 subscribers away from 495,000. Remember, England coming up later. Same, hate Haaland in Man City, but love him in the World Cup, says Tiger Valley. Thank you very much for your super chat there. They will be the biggest flop if they go out. Ancelotti's already signed the new contract. Oh, he's another one. Handing out big contracts for countries that could go out before the quarterfinals. Neymar looks gassed already. They shouldn't have took Neymar. They shouldn't have took Neymar. He's not been fit enough to play. When he comes on, he doesn't look, fit enough. I mean, João Pedro actually would have. I mean, for me, it's like a charity, isn't it? Let's take Neymar for one last hurrah, but João Pedro would actually improve your team. But Casemiro's last World Cup as well. He's been part of late goals for United, though. He knows what it takes. Haaland heads it away. Here is Neymar. Has he got something? He has. No, he hasn't. And Bob might get there. Well, look, there's plenty of time for Brazil. You do feel that they will get at least one decent chance in this last 10 minutes. And Oscar Bob needs some help. It's a terrible pass. Although Shader Up's got it. It's a 3v3. Here's Bob. Here's Odegaard. And Norway decided to just go with possession. Brilliant subs by Solback. And I mean, you've got, I said, you know, don't really understand some of the subs he's made, but I mean, it's worked a treat. And Brazil, I mean, look, there'll be a lot of people, and also myself, you know, a lot of people will be looking at this going, it's a weird World Cup without Brazil. I remember Italia 90 when they got knocked out in the quarterfinals, and it's I think it was the quarterfinals. They got knocked out. I can't remember who knocked Brazil out. Maybe it was Argentina. It's a weird World Cup without Brazil in it. And Brazil going out in the round of 16 feels very early. But we've had this conversation, whatever happens in the next 5 minutes, whether Brazil equalise or not, we've had this conversation throughout the tournament. To me, this is not Brazil. I don't know what's gone on with their, you know, coaching, talent pathways. What a save! It's nearly gone in! Deflection goal by Aja. The centre-back has nearly scored an own goal. It's looped up and the keeper's clawed it out. Well, it wasn't a Ray Carroll moment because we've got goal line technology, but that was so close. Casemiro! Oh my God. Why did he not shoot? Casemiro gets it in the 6-yard box, elects to go across the goal. He maybe should have gone front post here, done him with his eyes. I think he should have shot. This was brilliant by the keeper. Look at that. It's going in. It's going in. It's going in. Oh, fingers. Fingers. He's literally fingered that out of the goal. That is absolute brilliant. I don't know how he's done it. I don't know how he's got that. He is man of the match. The goalkeeper's been absolutely brilliant. People are saying red card, Vinny. I don't know what that's all about. Ancelotti played Thiago once and said never again, says Bernardo. As an avid Liverpool fan, I think Haaland's fantastic. Regardless of who he plays for, I admire all great players. Here's bloody Odegaard again, taking 50 touches when just get rid of it. But this is lovely play, and it's Berg down the wing. Go for the corner flag, mate. Is it too early for that? But yeah, just talking about Brazil. I don't know what's gone on with Brazil's talent pathways, recruitment, development of players, but it's sad to see a team that's so, you know, connected with the World Cup and a certain brand of football lose its way. And I think it is about fullbacks. Corner to Norway. I think it is about the fullbacks, you know, even more recently with Dani Alves and Marcelo, but you go back through the years with Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Jorginho, Branco, Leonardo, you know, they've always had these attacking fullbacks that are like wingers. And they haven't got them anymore. And yeah, you can talk about who's the Ronaldinho, who's the Rivaldo, who's the R9. Yeah, I think Brazil will produce those players. Vinicius Junior is a good player. Neymar, obviously, is coming towards the end of his career. But they've lost their identity. They look very European. And if you're going to be European, we've got loads of good European teams already. We've already got England, Germany, Portugal, France. You know, Brazil had the samba beats. They had an identity and they've lost it. And that's why I didn't fancy them in the World Cup. And even if they get through this, I don't fancy them in the World Cup. They don't have any identity that makes them the Brazil I grew up watching and the Brazil many of you grew up watching. They've lost they've lost who they are. And they have no differential. You know, Argentina probably are the same Argentina I've known all my life. You know, one superstar and immense aggressive teamwork. That's what they had in 86. It's what they had in 90. It's what they had in 94. It's what they had in Qatar. Argentina have always had that identity, you know, incredible, aggressive, hard work and a superstar. But Brazil had the, you know, I've seen Brazil get knocked out of World Cups but play brilliant football. This Brazilian side could be, you know, it could be Portugal. It could be Germany. There's nothing about them that gives them a differential. And it's sad. Oh, no! Oh, no! What a goal! I don't know why I'm going Italian. What a goal! What a goal! Erling Haaland has ended it. It's over. They're dead. Brazil are finished. They're gone. They no longer cease to exist. They have breathed their last breath in this World Cup. It is finito time for Brazil. It is over. It is finished. That was the dagger. That was the finishing move. That was the end of Brazil. I mean, there needs to be a complete and utter post-mortem in Brazilian football of what has happened to your great, great, great team and your principles. But let's just enjoy Norway. The run goes on. They ain't fucking leaving. This ship keeps on sailing. 5 times they've played Brazil in competitive footballs. They've not lost. 3 wins, 2 draws. Norway, the ultimate killer of Brazil. What a goal by Erling Haaland. What a goal by Erling Haaland. Absolutely brilliant. I said this was going to be Super Sunday. Well, it bloody is. And what does that do for Erling Haaland in the top goal scorers charts? It puts him level with Messi on 7. And level with Mbappe on 7. What a World Cup! What a World Cup! Norway are knocking Brazil out. They're gone. Norway are going to Miami. Will Smith FC. Norway will play Mexico or England. And I tell you what, it will be a difficult game for either of them. But what a World Cup. I mean, a World Cup needs a dark horse. A World Cup needs a shock that is a shock because they played well, not a shock because they parked the bus and got lucky. Well, we're getting that tonight. And also, a World Cup needs the best. Look at this top goal scorer chart. Kylian Mbappe, one of the best players in the world, 7. Lionel Messi, one of the best players to play the game, 7. Erling Haaland, one of the best strikers in the world, 7. Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world, 5. That's your top 4 goal scorers in this World Cup. And people are moaning about it not being a good World Cup. I'm 92 and this is one of the best World Cups I've ever seen. It's incredible. But is it over? 7 minutes to be added on. If Brazil could get a quickie, they could get 2. Norway have been so good. This Berg, by the way, goalkeeper man of the match for me, or Haaland. But this Berg, and I'm not talking about Sanderberg, I'm talking about the other Berg. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a game. What a World Cup. 25,000 people tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. England next. I mean, God, we'll never have a better chance to get to a World Cup. Well, we've already been to a World Cup semi-final, but if we beat Mexico, Norway, England, I mean, Norway could beat us. Do we want to duck it? No. Bring it on. Bring it on. Respect Norway, though. Bloody hell, they would be a difficult game. Brazil gone. I tell you what, I get clipped up on TikTok and everything all the time. Somebody should put the energy to go back to my World Cup predictor show where I spoke about Brazil. I said Arsenal would win the league before a ball was kicked. I said something about Brazil along the lines of, they will be the big flop of this tournament. And I got laughed at. I got bloody laughed at. Wow, you're not laughing anymore, are you? I said Shader was a good player as well. But you're not laughing anymore. I said Brazil would be the big flop of this tournament. Well, they are. They are a shadow of their former selves. They've been dunked on here. Daryl Street says Brazil had the chances. Yeah, well, I do think they had the chances, but I don't think it was a smash and grab by Norway by any stretch of the imagination. You know, they had a penalty, which I don't think was a penalty. They had a Bruno Guimaraes chance, which I think would have been offside anyway. Martinelli nearly got on the end of a header. But Odegaard had a chance. You know, I think Norway have deserved it. Across 90 minutes, I think they've deserved it. If you look at the stats, 66% possession for Norway. Hello. 5 shots on target to 3. Hello. 91% pass accuracy and 658 passes to Brazil's 3-2-1. Hello. What the fuck's going on? Can I just say what? Hello. The yellow is Brazil and the red is Norway. Brazil, one of the most stereotypical good footballing sides in the world, have been absolutely obliterated by Norway in relation to possession and passing. You got a problem. Houston, you got a problem. Brazil need a post-mortem. Get the Brazil. Find me the next R9. Get a Cafu on the right and a Marcelo on the left, and then we'll talk. And this Neymar thing, what a joke. The 7-1 loss will haunt Brazil forever. 34% possession for Brazil is shameful, says Jesus. Norway, no they are. Brazil don't, Liam White. You predicted Norway being a dark horse as well, Mark. I thought I said Japan, Beryl, to be fair, but a lot of people did say Norway, and they were right. Brazil had so many that got punished, says Daryl. Amazing to see United's newest midfielder just stood there, says Danny. Yeah, I purposely haven't mentioned Edison because when he came on, it was 0-0. I don't think you can blame him. I'm guessing the Norway sitting 10 players was a smart move, says Silver. Prepare to row your boat, Rooney. Oh, it's kicking off a little bit as well. Bad losers. Who are you? Get off the fucking pitch, you sub. Hey, get off the fucking pitch, you dick. Get off. Rafinha doing well to get him off. Whoever you are, get off the fucking pitch. Subs running on the fucking pitch. Get off. Get out. 3 Brazilian defenders just watched him take the shot, says the Hand of Thrawn. Do the Norway boat thing. I'm not doing that, 9G. It's their thing. Fewest touches, but both goals. Typical Haaland, says Ross. Norway in the sweepstake. Let's go, says Pure Turnips. I can't believe it. This Brazil team is a disgrace, says Jesus. Roo, says Nicholas. The Samba Kings were party animals. This generation is too soft and conservative, says Jid. For years now, their best players have been goalkeepers and defenders, says Shahin. And deserve it for taking Igor Thiago over Pedro, says Al. Haaland's very likeable. Come on, Norway, says Rafa. Well, we've hit 97 minutes. It's over. What's the excuse for Ancelotti? Why would you keep him? 1 Inch Wonder says hat trick for Kane half time. He's given a penalty. This ref's a dick. This ref's a dick. Don't let him referee again. This ref is a dick. 2 penalties for Brazil. Mate, you're trying too hard now. It's never a bloody penalty. That's 2 people going up for the same fucking ball. Eyes on the ball. No. No. Never in a million years is that a pen. Thankfully, it's 2-0, because I tell you what, if it was 1-0 and they were getting a penalty for that and it was going to fucking extra time, you'd be losing it. Thank God it's 2-0. Eye on the ball, nowhere near. They're both doing the same thing. Casemiro's got his arm up as well. It's just not a penalty. They both go for the ball in the same way. There's contact, but that's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Canadians got as far as Brazil, says Andrew. Brilliant game, though. I'm loving the World Cup. Loving it. Please do subscribe to the channel. I mean, this is Brazil in a moment. Neymar taking a consolation penalty when you're getting knocked out in the last 16. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I mean, there shouldn't be any time added on after this penalty either. Even if they score it, there shouldn't be time. And he's passed it in. What? Neymar, you're losing 2-1, mate. He's losing 2-1 and he's bantering the keeper. What? It's like Dan James in the FIFA career mode when I'm losing 5-0 and he starts dancing at 5-1. Mate, you're already dead. You're finished. You're out. And that's why Brazil should not have took Neymar to the World Cup, because it's just about Neymar, isn't it? Look at him. You can't do that, mate. You're lost. You're losing. Now, how long's the referee going to add on? Because they can't be long. What's the referee doing now? Fucking hell. This is strange. There can't be much time here. He's not blown. Mate, this is dodgy. Keeper's got it. Casemiro put the cross in. Keeper's got it. Boots it long. Referee is still not looking to... What the fuck is he doing here? He's blown it now. It's over. Brazil out. Out. Out of the World Cup. Thankfully for Norway, Haaland scored that second goal, because we would have had massive controversy about that dodgy penalty at the end. But Brazil are out. They are gone. They are finished. Absolutely finished. No way back. 2-1. Norway's biggest result in World Cup history. No doubt about it. A knockout win against Brazil puts Norway into the quarterfinals of the World Cup. I don't think it's the first time they're in a quarterfinal of the World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong. But huge result. Huge result. Ancelotti strolls out. I mean, they should be doing better. They should be doing better. There's no two ways about it. But they should be doing better. Ref was a joke. A lot of people saying that. At the end of the day, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Look, it is sad. Look, I've got to say, I don't normally match reaction every game that we do unless it's England, but I'm not about to start doing it now. But what I would say is that we've got a little bit of time. I'm staying up till 1 o'clock anyway. I do want to just digest a little bit. It reminds me a little bit when Brazil got smashed by Germany in 2014 in their own World Cup in Rio. And I remember saying at the time, I wasn't streaming at the time, I was just watching it with some mates, and I said, they need to have a look at Brazilian football. Because if you get smacked up 7-1 in the World Cup, in your own World Cup, you need to look at that and make sure that you put things in place for the future of your national team. And 12 years later, they haven't. A bit like Italy. Look, Italy may not be qualifying for World Cups, but I don't think Brazil are in a much better situation. They're a shadow of them former selves. And over 90 minutes, Brazil shouldn't be putting themselves in situations like that. Like, they just don't, as somebody said in the chat, they're best, you know, Edison, Alisson, Marquinhos, Gabriel, Thiago Silva, they're very good defensively, but where's the fullbacks? Where's the midfielders? Where's the attackers? It's become very European. Brazilian football has become European, and that's not going to work because we do it better. So Brazil football is in the mud. This is why I predicted in my predictions that they'd be the biggest flop. I could see it coming. They don't have an identity anymore. They've lost their way. And that is a huge, huge result. And I've got to say, it is sad for a World Cup not to have Brazil in the last 8. It is a shock. It is sad, but it is fair because Norway were better. Norway had more of the ball. Norway won the game 2-1. Norway didn't need 2 controversial penalties. Norway deserved to win that game on merit. I've seen teams like Paraguay knock Germany out, and you look at the game and you go, Germany should have scored. It's gone to penalties. It's a shock. And then Paraguay play France and the shit. I think Norway is what a proper dark horse is, and you know, we've seen it with Morocco. I think we saw it with Japan, with Ivory Coast. I know they're out, but they're teams that play a brand of football that can hold its own, and they might lose, but they might win as well. And I think, you know, Norway haven't done a smash and grab, which is what we've seen over the years. We've seen giant killings in the past. We saw Greece win the Euros in 2004 by parking the bus and scraping goals. Norway won that game legit. Look at that. They won the game legitimately. And that's a changing of football. Like, Norway are better than Brazil as of today. They've beaten them. They're better than them. Brazilian football needs a long, hard look in the mirror. It is an embarrassment for them to be out of a World Cup in the last 16. But it's even more embarrassing that it wasn't a fluke. It's even more embarrassing that they deserve to lose. The better side won. That is a major statement. And to be honest, I've been waiting for that for a long time. I've been waiting for this. And hopefully we can get a few more. Hopefully Morocco can keep going. Hopefully the USA can keep going. Hopefully Colombia can keep going. Hopefully we're getting closer and closer to the day where we get a World Cup winner that isn't France, Argentina, Spain, Germany, Brazil. And that's what I want to take from this World Cup. And the day I think teams are getting better. I think teams are getting stronger. And I think we've seen that in this World Cup. So look, Norway have got a great chance of going wherever they want to go. They don't have the depth that a Brazil or a France or an England have, but they do have this. They have, probably 14, 15 players that used correctly can make a huge difference. Obviously, having one of the best strikers in the world helps. And And look, I criticised their manager in the France game for resting the players because it was boring. And, and you wanted to watch Norway play France. I criticised him for taking Nusa off at half-time, but it's all working. And, sometimes you've got to say I was wrong. I apologise. I was wrong. Can they win the World Cup? You've just knocked Brazil out. They can definitely beat England. They can definitely beat Mexico. And then you put yourself in a semi-final against maybe Argentina. They could do that. I don't know whether they could beat France at their best, but they could hit a semi-final. They could hit a final. It is possible. I think Brazil suffer from the same thing as Man United. A terrible midfield relying on special moments, says McAfee. Greece didn't park the bus, watch the games again, says Constantine. You bloody did. I did watch them, mate. Boring. We were unbeaten against Brazil, the only team, says Madge. And that's an incredible record, by the way. Never lost to Brazil in 5 competitive games. No one's got that. Basically, Brazil overcorrected from 2014. They were too open, and now they're dull. Kind of like the 94 team minus Romaro and Bebeto, says Tabby. So, look, hopefully, we're all hoping that there's going to be a renaissance of Italian football, a proper analysis. And I think there needs to be a renaissance of Brazil. They're never going to listen to us, but ultimately you need to get your attacking fullbacks back. It's a massive part of what Brazil is all about. You're too predictable. You're too European. You need to get back to your roots, The importance of a superstar game changer is huge, says Mandolin. They needed Anthony, says Keel. And I just want to say as well, the Neymar thing, to me, I never understood it. And now we've seen it. I still don't understand it. Neymar was clearly taken for reasons beyond football. Whether it was fantasy, reminiscing, nostalgia. But João, when he came on, he was shit. And he hardly ever came on. And if you'd had João Pedro, he would have given you more. Roo is the word. Yes, roo. We've never lost to Brazil, says Nico. Roo, 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 says True Gent. Weather bug shows lightning strikes from nearby stations. Look for Mexico City and you can track match delays that way. I'll have a look at that, USC. Latest on England weather is that there is no thunderstorms at the moment. That's the latest I've got, and that's on AccuWeather. I don't know how good that is, but they're saying it's just rain at the moment and no thunder. Let's have a look what the Weather Channel says. Man of the match. I mean, you can give it to the goalkeeper, but I almost think you could give it to the... Sorry, you can give it to Haaland, but I think you could also give it to the goalkeeper. I also thought Berg, the guy who plays for Bodo Glimt, the number 6, not Sanderberg, was incredible as well. They were the 3. Shader Up came on and did very well. Classless from Neymar. Oh, God. What Neymar was doing at the end, scoring a consolation penalty and then getting in the face of the goalkeeper. I mean, exactly. Look at the scoreboard, as Mandolin said. Absolutely spot on. Constantine says, I do feel for Brazil. I do. Same way I feel for Italy. They're a great footballing nation that has been let down. And Brazil have been let down. They're a mess. They're an absolute mess. And there will be an absolute post-mortem of that, quite rightly. And I hope they get back to being the team that I grew up watching, being very excited about. There was a chance that England could play Brazil in the quarter-final and potentially get revenge. I wouldn't have minded that. I think Norway is going to be a harder game if we get through. Best carry job by Mr. 9. Roy Keane, what do you say? Says Swaps. Ancelotti never rated Endrick, and after today, we'll probably never call him up again, says Jay. Oh, what a chance. Yeah. At 0-0, what a chance. It was a big chance. Yeah, it was. Right, okay, it's preparation time for the England game. 15,000 watching. I am back with you at midnight, which is in about an hour's time. Get the coffee in. If the game gets delayed, I'll delay the start time. There's no point chatting away for an hour. So I will start the stream when we're half an hour away from kickoff. So if it does get delayed, I'll put it back a little bit. But other than that, forgetting England, Mexico, this game for me is the game of the World Cup. I've absolutely loved it. So thank you for all your support, as always. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for everybody who watched, and thanks for everybody who subscribed. We are on the road to 1.5 million, and we were 10 away from 495,000. So please do click and subscribe on your way out on the countdown to 5 million. I will speak to you all a little bit later for England against Mexico. At some point, it will be England against Mexico. And let me just play you out with a little tune to get you in the mood for later. You might recognise this one. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing along with me. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. End the show there. That would have been a good end. See you all later. Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you in a bit.